All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I only have one thing to say in regarding to this reveal right here. The College Football Playoff Committee screwed this up big time. They are wrong, and they screwed this up big time. What's good, everybody? It's your boy TornadoMcRae back at it again with another video. It is ESPN Wednesday, and I can't believe the shit I just saw. I'm gonna keep it a buck, guys. I cannot believe what I just saw. I have had 48 hours to marinate on this. I have heard every angle about the committee making their decision for the college football playoff. I've heard every storyline. I've heard every chairman. I've heard every spokesperson. I've heard every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Susie, Jessica, and Joe tell me who should have been in and who should have been out. And I firmly believe the committee got this wrong. They got this wrong as hell. Because there is no way you can sit there and tell me with a straight face, this is consistent. That's where they got it wrong.
What does that have to do with it?
No. He's got a point.
And I can explain why. So for those of you who don't know, for those of you who aren't tracking, as I just shown, the committee decided to go with Michigan at number 1, Washington at 2, Texas at 3, and Bama at 4. All right, cool. That's what y'all decided to go with. Mind you, they left out undefeated Florida State of the ACC and defending champion Georgia, saying they believe these four are the 4 best teams in the nation. Now, first things first, I'm going to say this on record. I personally thought the only way Georgia was going to get knocked out was if they got dog walked by Alabama. Losing by 3 and being down 10 most of the game, I did not think that was enough to kick them out. However, I can see the argument. So I'm not mad at Alabama getting in on doing that. I'm honestly not. I am honestly not. My issue comes with both Texas and Alabama should not have gotten in. Both of them should not have gotten in. And Texas should have been the one that was left out.
Oh, whoa.
And the huge snub in this is Florida State. And I'm sick of it. I feel bad for Florida State fans. I feel bad for all of them because, one, you did everything you were supposed to do as a team. They tell us in order to get to the championship, you gotta play and win every game. You gotta win every game, which Florida State did. In order to get to the championship, even if you go undefeated, you gotta be in a strong conference, which Florida State is in. And you gotta overcome adversity and handle your business, which Florida State has done. What are we talking about here? Everybody wants to sit there and say over the last 2 weeks, Florida State has not looked like the same Florida State since their quarterback got hurt. It's their starting quarterback. Yeah, they're going to look a little different. But guess what they still did? They still won. I don't care how you do it. They still won. And in the process, beat a team from the toughest conference in college football, in the SEC.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
They beat the Florida Gators, who I am thinking they beat Florida at home. Hold up. Oh, even better. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let's zoom in, shall we? Just to make sure y'all can see this. They beat Florida, SEC Florida, in Gainesville.
Huh?
They beat an SEC team on the road. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, if we look at their whole schedule, if we look at their entire schedule, dog, you got number 5 LSU, Southern Miss, the rest of the ACC, Boston College, Clemson, VTech, Syracuse, 16 Duke, Wake Forest, Miami, North Alabama, where unfortunately Jordan Travis got hurt, Florida, and then at number 15, Louisville. As a team, they averaged 37 points a game and held their opponents to 15. Put up 481 points on the season, only allowed 207. What are we talking about here? It doesn't make sense. Because even if you want to sit there and say, oh, they ain't playing nobody. Bro, they beat LSU in week 1, who was ranked higher than them, ranked 5. And y'all love to rave about how Texas beat Alabama week 2. So that means what happened earlier in the season has to count for something, right?
Logic, let's use it.
Not only that, the fact that the committee said the reason why they did not put Florida State in is because Jordan Travis was not there and they look like a completely different Florida State team. Boo! That's and that's hypocritical. Because 1, you're knocking them for an injury that could have happened at any time. Something out of everybody's control. And 2, you're telling me a backup can't lead the team to a championship? Hello? Your first college football championship was won that way. By Ohio State and Cardale Jones, who wasn't the backup. He was the 3rd string. Made only his 3rd career college start in the college championship game. Didn't even get to play before the conference game, the conference title game. Those were his 3 starts. The Big Ten conference title game, the college football semifinal against Alabama, and then the college championship. But that team was good enough, right? That team wasn't good enough, even though all they did was give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, made sure he was just a game manager, and do the rest. Florida State had 2 weeks with their backup, and if you give them a month to get an acclimated practice with their backup, I guarantee they don't look like the team that struggled just these past 2 weeks. Because they have more time to get to know each other. The same way Cardale Jones had time to get to know his team and get to know his system. It's like, it's logic. It can work. And since when do we take into account injuries?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Since when do injuries take account into anything about what this team has done? If anything, this team has proven they can win without Jordan Travis.
Message.
They went into the swamp. You just lost your star quarterback and you got to go on the road to an SEC team who is the best conference in football. We can all agree to that. On the road, rivalry week, and you go into their house and you win. I don't care if Florida finished 5-7. That is a tall task to ask for a team that y'all are so hell-bent on not giving credit to. Then you turn around and you gotta go play 15 Louisville, who I honestly think they were 14 before. And y'all sit there and act like Louisville ain't no slouch. They are right in the top 15 for a reason, dog. What are we talking about here? In terms of conferences, y'all do realize this year that the conference with the most wins in interconference play was the ACC.
Liar!
Not only that, the ACC had winning records against both the SEC at 6-4 and the Big Ten at 4-3. The 2 best conferences, according to everybody right now, the 2 best conferences. The ACC had the most wins. And just so y'all don't think I'm making it up, here you go yourself. Here's the proof. The ACC 10-9, Big 12 6-6, Big 10 5-8, Pac-12 7-3. SEC 7-9. Wait. The ACC just showed y'all they got the most wins when it comes to interconference play. So they can't be the weakest conference. Y'all do realize in the last 10 years, since 2013, the ACC has the 2nd most titles, right? Out of the Power 5. Like, I'm just saying, the SEC has 6 of them. The ACC has 3 of them. The Big Ten has 1. But the ACC is a weak conference though, right? Not only that, y'all want to sit there and say, oh, well, we could win too if we didn't have to play anybody all year. By your logic, if the ACC played nobody, they would not be able to hold a candle to anybody in the SEC. or anybody in the Big Ten. Just follow me here. For example, that is the equivalent of if I was to get my football team, I was to get a squad together, 11, 22, whatever, and we played a bunch of middle school teams as grown men, and then decided to go play, after playing all of them, be like, okay, we're ready to go play a D1 collegiate football team right now. Logically, we should not be able to play with them because we have not been playing the opponents, right? Because we have not played anybody who moves that fast or can play that well or is that coordinated, that in sync. That's what y'all be saying. That's the logic I've heard. It's stupid.
So, damn.
Because unlike the Big Ten, which has only done it once in the last 10 years, unlike the Pac-12, which hasn't done it, unlike the Big 12, which hasn't done it since Vince Young, and they didn't even play the SEC, they played Southern Cal. They played the Pac-12 that year. The ACC can beat the SEC, and the SEC is the toughest conference in college football. The ACC has done it more than any other conference. Hell, y'all want me to take it a step further. In the last 23 years, since the year 2000, the ACC is second in championships. The SEC has dominated. Nobody's knocking that. The ACC's got 4. The Big Ten, 2. The Big 12, 2. The Pac-12, 2. I'm just saying. We got to stop this because y'all honestly think that because the ACC is so dominated basketball, they're only a basketball conference. Y'all think they're not good because they're not in the SEC or they're not in the Big Ten.
Wrong.
We got to stop that narrative right now. We literally need to stop that because it's stupid. And the whole premise of college football, we always say with college football, any given Saturday, outside of March Madness, college football is probably the most unpredictable sport.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
In like the big 3 sports of America. When it comes to football, basketball, baseball, college football is probably the most unpredictable outside of college basketball. We always say any given Sunday. That's why we line up. That's why we go to war. Hell, everybody still talks to this day about how Appalachian State upset Michigan. Everybody still talks about how Ohio State upset Alabama in the first college football playoff. Everybody still talks about how Clemson dog-walked Alabama with Trevor Lawrence. We still talk about all these games. We still talk about the kick 6 between Auburn and Alabama. I'm sorry, Alabama. I know I'm rubbing some salt in the wound, but I'll give you one. We talk about how Alabama came in with a backup quarterback and Tua Tagovailoa and won the championship with a backup. What are you talking about, bro? Like, what do you mean? Came right in the midst of the playoffs. Boom. The team looks different with Tua. Nope, they're in. Touchdown. We win. Not only that, bro, y'all want to hype up Texas so much. You really do. It's stupid because let's look at what Texas has really done. All right, Texas beat Rice. Alabama in week 2, a week after Florida State beat LSU. Just saying. So both of them have a win on the SEC team, right? Then they beat Wyoming, beat Baylor, beat 24 ranked Kansas, lose to Oklahoma, 12 Oklahoma at that. They lost, point blank period, with their starters, healthy and all.
That's rough, buddy.
Lost to 12 ranked Oklahoma. Go on to beat Houston. BYU barely beat Kansas State by 3. Barely beat Texas Christian. TCU by 3. Beat Iowa State by 10. Dog walk Texas Tech and then dog walk Oklahoma State. A 19th ranked Oklahoma State. So how are you a better team when you barely beat the number 25 team at the time by 3, unranked TCU by 3, and then you get a win over Oklahoma State? You think you deserve the jump all the way from 7 to 3? Oh, hell no! All the way up there? And not only that, let's compare it. Let's compare it. 36 points per game. So Florida State puts up more points. They give up 17 points per game. So their defense gives up more points. And overall, they've scored 470 points and given up 228.
Embarrassing!
And everybody wants to talk about it's their strength of schedule. One, the strength of schedule is stupid because that's always relative to who you are and who you're playing.
Yeah, I better listen to him.
Because Alabama strength of schedule, especially outside of the conference, if they don't play any other big names, it's going to be a C, B minus, bro. If I'm Charleston Southern or Coastal Carolina and I decide to go play Georgia, Notre Dame, and BYU, not BYU, but Michigan in my non-conference, my strength of schedule is an A now. I don't care what you say. Texas should not have gotten in. Florida State beat a harder Louisville team. I don't care how they did it. They did it. Then the Oklahoma State team that Texas beat.
He ain't lying.
That's what I'm also not, I don't get why people can't comprehend. The number 4 team played the number 14-15 team, while the number 7 team played the number 19 team. The likelihood that the 7 is gonna dog walk the 19 is a lot higher than the 4 dog walking the 14. Just saying. Like, let's put 2 and 2 together, bro. Everybody's all on Texas beat Bama's and Bama beat Georgia, so both of them should get it. No, they shouldn't. I had three undefeated Power 5 conference champions. They automatically should have been in, automatically.
To this day.
Because that's the whole point of why y'all call them Power 5 conferences. The whole point. And y'all just don't seem to understand that. Texas does not deserve to be in.
We do not care.
Bama does, because Bama did something nobody's done in 2 years. They beat Georgia. It was by 3, but they beat them. So I can concede Bama deserves to be in there. If you go knock Georgia out, yeah, Bama's the one that deserves to be in there. But Texas and Bama? No.
Absolutely fucking not.
Because you're hypocritical at that point. You're not sitting there saying, oh, it's the 4 best teams. Last time I checked, being 13-0 makes me the best. I don't care how I did it. I don't care where you got the win, how you got the win. Being 13-0 makes me better than 12-1.
Write that down, write that down!
We are putting it based off the conference strength. Yeah, Liberty is not going to get in because Liberty is 12-0 in a mid-major conference. They can have a conversation once we expand the playoffs, but right now, we know they aren't allowed in. And guess what? The reason being is because y'all know they aren't playing nearly the competition. They aren't in the Power 5 conference. But you know what you do have Liberty as? A ranked team, one of the best ranked teams in the nation in the top 25. So you at least respect that. Even if they aren't in a Power 5 conference, you're like, they still undefeated. They still in the top 25. So we gotta rank them, right? I am so frustrated with the college football committee on this one because you screwed over a team over something they couldn't control. They did. I've heard Mike Greeny say it on ESPN. I've heard Stephen A say it. I've heard a lot of people who agree with me and a lot who don't. Spokesmen like Paul Feinbaum, Michael Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser, like Dan Orlovsky, who are saying the committee got it right. They didn't. The committee did not get this right. And y'all don't want to admit that.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
The committee went off the teams that can make the most money, because how are you going to sit there and tell me a 13-0 team can't potentially win it all, whether they got a backup or not? If we applied that logic to all sports, that would mean entities like Tom Brady, Nick Foles, Case Keenum, Phillip Rivers, some notable players who got in because of injuries. Phillip Rivers got in because, guess what? Drew Brees got hurt. And Phillip Rivers had a great career. Went to the playoffs multiple times. You're telling me he should have never went to the playoffs? Tom Brady should have never been a Super Bowl champion? Telling me Nick Foles and the Eagles didn't deserve that Super Bowl championship? Case Keenum didn't deserve to go to the NFC title game? Brock Purdy, the most recent version of this, does not deserve to go to the NFC title game. Colin Kaepernick didn't deserve to go to that Super Bowl? I'm just saying, tell me now. This committee failed. This committee got it wrong, and I stand by that. There's no way you can convince me otherwise, and they got it wrong on the basis of consistency. These entire college football playoffs, all we've talked about is, hey, if you go undefeated in a Power 5 conference, you're in because you're a Power 5 conference, one of the strongest conferences in the nation. And this is the first time we have seen any Power 5 conference not get into the college football playoff after going undefeated.
How, Sway?
We've seen them when it's like, oh, that's a one-loss team, when there's only one undefeated or only two undefeateds, and everybody else has one loss. Cool. We've seen it where it's like there's 4 undefeateds or 5 undefeateds. Cool. Now you got a conversation. But y'all had 3 undefeated teams in the hardest conferences, and you left one of them out. And your reasoning was because they didn't look like the team that won 11 weeks for 11 weeks straight because the quarterback just happened to suffer an injury.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That's stupid. And you know it. They all know it. Nobody wants to see Texas and Alabama again. But y'all know that would generate a lot of money.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
And also, here's a kicker. Here's something y'all don't think about. And I might have said it earlier, but I'm gonna reiterate it now. If I have to use my backup quarterback to win a football game, do you know what that means? Your team can't game plan for me as well as they would like, because you don't know what my backup can and can't do because he hasn't been in a game like that. And also, that means I have to get creative with my play calling because my backup can't do the things that my starter does, which means the game is going to be more unpredictable and more exciting. Yes, sir. This nigga spitting. The whole point of the college football playoff is to give teams a chance to show the world that they are the best and they can win. You give me a chance, I can show you that I can win the championship any given Saturday. That's why we play this game. Stupid, dog. It's dumb. It's dumb. I don't agree with it. And truth be told, I hope, no disrespect to Alabama, but I hope both Alabama and Texas get dog walked in the semifinals so bad that it makes the committee look dumb for even putting either one of them in there.
Jesus Christ.
And I want to see a Michigan-Washington college football championship. That's the only matchup I want to see. That is honestly the only matchup I want to see because now I'm sick to my stomach. So glad we're going to the 12-team playoff this year because this is stupid. But guys, with that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, if you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom because you know, and as your auntie's favorite neighbor, she's got to know when I'm putting together these videos, bro. And also, guys, we hit the 200 sub mark on YouTube. Let's go. Oh, let's go. I'm so happy. I thank you guys for allowing, and I thank you guys for subscribing, watching the channel. We've hit 200. Now we're on the road to 400 subscribers, baby. New background. I think I'm gonna change the background every time we hit a YouTube subscription goal. I think that might be my thing. So, road to 400 subscribers. Share these videos with a friend. Let them know. Subscribe to the channel and comment below if you think the college football committee, playoff committee, got this year right or got this year wrong. Y'all know where I stand. But with that being said, guys, at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you. I'm out, baby.